How do you define your lifestyle that we're talking about here? Is it a whole food plant-based diet, and is it basically that simple, or is it a little bit more complicated?
Yeah, I coined a term called Nutritarian because I can define what I want that to mean. Because what does plant-based mean anyway? I mean, plant-based, the American diet, the standard American diet is plant-based. It's more than 50% plants. It's probably 70% plants. Yeah. And what about, in whole foods? Well, is that mostly rice or is that mostly fruit? I mean, what are you eating? What's the whole food you're eating? So the Nutritarian diet certainly is a whole food plant-based diet, but it's much more than plant-based. It's the majority, it's almost plant, it's not even more than plant predominant. But in any case, we're picking a wide variety of the healthiest plant foods, the ones that are not contaminated, the plants that are linked to longer lifespan. And that means eating vegetables. It's a vegetable-based diet. We're eating lots of vegetables, including green vegetables, mushrooms, and onions in the diet. It's not just living on a macrobiotic diet, which could be whole food plant-based, or a fruitarian diet, which could be whole food plant-based, or an extremely low-fat diet. We're avoiding all nuts and seeds and thinking that's the idea for, this is a sector of a whole food plant-based diet that is designed with, I feel, scientific integrity, leading to include a wide variety of foods that put together a dietary portfolio that will maximally extend human lifespan. And my also vision is that the same diet style that is best to prevent cancer, extend slow aging, and prevent dementia is also most effective to reverse disease and be used therapeutically when people have certain conditions they want to get better from. Asthma, headaches, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. When we're using nutrition as a therapeutic tool, the diet that's best for longevity also becomes most effective therapeutically as an intervention for people to get well.
Now, if somebody's seemingly healthy and adopt, a whole food plant exclusive diet, let's just call it that.
A whole food plant exclusive, but what I call a Nutritarian diet. Yeah. It's much simpler, just call it a Nutritarian diet.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, if somebody's just healthy and they just want to do this for ethical reasons, let's say. If they're just eating like a variety of beans, greens, grains, fruits, veggies, mushrooms, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices, you think that's probably going to be sufficient? In other words, is your diet more tailored toward people who are sick? Could it be that somebody who's healthy doesn't really need to be concerned about these details that you're talking about here for the Nutritarian diet?
Sure. Are the nuances important?
Yeah. I mean, for somebody who's otherwise healthy.
Yeah. Yes, they could be. Let's take a fruitarian diet where a person's eating mostly fruit. It's not good for toddlers. It's not enough protein. Fruit's the only whole plant food that's too low in protein to maximize lifespan or survival. But people in middle ages, in their 30s, 40s, and 50s even, have such a high degree of ability to digest protein. They even get enough protein from a fruit-based diet with a little bit of vegetables and nuts. If the diet is mostly fruit, 80, 90% fruit, it's not going to be good for toddlers. It's not going to be good for the elderly because as you get older, your protein bioavailability, ability to digest and assimilate protein goes down. And then the IGF-1 could get too low and you get immune suppression, more tendency to infection like pneumonia, or because infection could be a cause of premature death as well. So that's an example. Or a macrobiotic diet where you're just eating mostly rice. We know how rice is so contaminated with arsenic today, and rice-based diets do not have the longevity, anti-cancer benefits of diet with a more variety of these healthy plants we're talking about, onions and mushrooms and berries and seeds and green vegetables. So yes, the nuances are important if you want to have a higher probability of preventing causes of later life diseases. You certainly can survive on many different types of diets to reach a decent age of 60, 70, or even 80. But if you want to push the envelope of human longevity and live to what I feel is a natural lifespan for humans between 97 and 107 years old, then you got to do, in the majority of cases, then you have to do much more right, especially that the majority of these people, even though they may not have a serious medical condition, they haven't eaten healthfully their whole life since birth. So they do require more attention to nutritional excellence so the body can repair and undo the damages that they did through prior to their unhealthy eating, decades of unhealthy eating. So yeah, I think it's important to eat green vegetables. We know that, for example, green vegetables our body, we're a green vegetable dependent animal. The health of our immune system around the defenders at the gates of the castle, the intraepithelial lymphocytes that line the digestive tract, or their development is dependent on green vegetable consumption. There's a lot of cellular function and structure and ability of self-repair that's dependent on green exposure to compounds in green vegetables. So no, I am saying that you can do better outcomes with more specific information to make the diet more wholesome and to include enough nutritional variety. We're trying not to needlessly exclude certain foods from the diet. You know, and that means including nuts and seeds and not thinking this myth that people have promoted that because nuts and seeds are calorically dense and high in fat, they should be avoided. That's not what the scientific literature shows. We have an overwhelming amount of corroborating evidence that the exclusion of nuts and seeds from a diet is not lifespan favorable. And so that could be a whole food plant-based diet. Yeah. So I want to give people information that's more supported, updated, and not let them make these nutritional errors needlessly based on improper advice.
Yeah. So, but what I was saying is like beans, greens, grains, fruits, veggies, mushrooms, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices.
Yes.
But those categories in eating a variety within each.
Yes, that's a good, what you said quickly, but you know, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, herbs, spices, all these things, fruits, vegetables, all those things. We want a variety of those foods in the diet. We don't want to be excluding and focus on one food. We don't want the diet to be based on potatoes with a little bit of, we want to have a good variety of foods in our diet, right? Variety of different types of foods gives us a variety of different types of nutrients, different types of fibers. We get more protein bioavailability by having beans and greens and whole grains and, you know, vegetables. We get a better nutritional profile when we include a variety of foods. And we have this unprecedented opportunity in human history to have availability of these foods, to eat a variety of foods. We should take advantage of it. That means we can do better than the blue zones do. The blue zones have a very limited exposure to foods grown that were traditionally grown in that area, or they're culturally used to eating certain foods, but they're not scientifically designed to maximize longevity. And they might get between 6 and 8 years longer than the average American lifespan-wise, but we can get, you know, 15 to 25 years longer by using this science, which I'm leading to a dietary portfolio I call a Nutritarian diet.